Hi everyone and welcome back to Island Scenics. Tim here, and in this video we're going back to basics because a fair few of you have asked about my son's 00 gauge layout, and the wife and I had decided to take it all up and start afresh for him. So come up with this idea to do a mini series of back to basics, as I've mentioned already, and in this video we're going to do track laying. So let's head upstairs into his room and let's get his track down for him. So he's got 9 foot along this back wall. He's then got 10 foot from there to there. And then coming up this end, he's got just under 12 foot that will run up there, and it's a dog bone shape, so the track just go round, and it's only a single track on the main line. And this area he's going to have the quarry. Down in the centre there will be the dockyard, and then up this end will be good sheds here, and just up at the end there's more engine sheds and what have you. Obviously these will get built over time and we'll keep you up to date with them. But first things first, as we mentioned downstairs, we're going to get on with some track laying. Now for the track we're going to be using on my Nippers layout is the Peco Slimline Code 75 SL102F, and we're going to be using concrete sleepers mainly, as well as the points. We're going to be using electrofrog points. And we have had to get a couple of wooden ones because that's what's pretty much left out there. So what we're using for the track bed is we're using this 4mm thick cork along with some copy decks to glue this down onto the baseboard. We're using the 4mm because I've got loads of rolls of it and I don't have to go out and buy anything else. So all I do is just we add copy decks because it's a really strong adhesive and it actually grips quite quickly, and you don't have to wait a long time for it to dry, so that we can get on with the next bit. So here's the area I want to lay the next bit of track coming off of this point. So with the copy decks bit of cork, we just add it up there, then add some tins of beans on it to weigh it down and wait for it to set. Now the cork's ready, we get our bit of track. I like to snip off the end ties on both sides, but don't get rid of these. These are important. Then I attach the fish plates. Now, or rail joiners, whichever you want to call them. This can be tricky sometimes, so I'm going to do this bit off camera. And as you can see here, fish plate on the track. Now I'm going to attach it up to the end point. Now we've attached the track, I'm just going to put some copy decks down underneath. What we want to do is just pull it on and spread it across. We don't want gloopy glumps that will seep up through the sleepers. We just want this down just enough that it will give a bit of a grip for the track, because at the end of the day the ballast will also be holding the track in place. Now once I've got the copy decks in, I use this long bit of wood, nice straight line down here, usually a metal or steel yard ruler or something would be better, but this is what I've got at hand. and I line up the track coming off of the point there and put it in. So it's all nice and straight. Move this so you can try and see, and it all runs nicely against this nice straight edge here. And that's going to be as straight as I'm going to be able to get it. There are other methods, and probably better ones as well, but this will work for me. Then get my beans again, and just rest them on top of the track. So now that we've got the first track in, and it's all set, I'm now going to put some, again, copy decks down on the cork here for the second track. And bring it over. Now where we've already got this track straight, well, we hope it's straight, I use track setters next, like these things. These are an adjustable track setter. They're brilliant. You can adjust the gap between each bit of track to your desired size, or you can use these ones, which are Peco, and this long side are for set track, and this middle bit is for streamline. Now we're using streamline, and they're set up exactly the same as these ones. The downside of these are you only got the 2 sets. The upside of these, they're about 30 to 50p each one of these, so they're cheap as anything. And set that in. Upside to these ones, you can adjust the size you want in between the track. Downside, they're not cheap. And once that's in place like so, on goes the weights again. So when I decide to do a corner just like this one here, where it goes all the way around as a half circle, this 3/4 of a circle really, I solder 2 bits of track right here, smack in the middle, so that I can get the correct curve all the way round and not worry about getting possible kinks in the track where the joins go. So if I need to cut track, just like this bit here, I simply get my track setter, my 00 gauge one or HO, line it up along the track just like so, and then get a pair of track cutters and cut just like this, and this will give me as close to a straight cut so both rails are the same, and then I'll just tidy it up with a file so then the joiners can attach quite easily. Right, so all my feeders are going to be dropping down in sections. I've divided the whole track up into 4. So this area that we're working on just up here will be section number 4, which will be anything all along the back wall there and inside the middle here. And they will all drop down into one of these little connector blocks. They'll be underneath the baseboard, and then this will lead directly onto the bus line that will go to the power. So if I have any problems, I can narrow it down to what section of the layout it would be at by one of these. But first of all, we've got the R and B either side of the track, so black wire, red wire. I've done this all the way around the baseboard so I know where I am putting each dropper. So first of all, I've got to do is get the drill. I then get a file and literally just where I drilled the holes, I file down the outside of the track, and what this will do is give me a bit of grip for the solder to soak in, and that way I don't have to have the soldering iron on the track for too long melting the sleepers. So we'll feed the red wire through this one. Now the length, it depends how far you want to go down under to your bus wire. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hold it up like so, so that I can tin it, which is pulling a bit of solder on the end of the wire. So just with the solder and the solder iron just at the end of the wire here, bit of solder. Brilliant. And what we'll also do is just move this out of the way a minute and pop the solder down onto the track down here. Hold it in place against the track and just heat up, and it's on. Put it away, give it a tug. I'm happy with that. Now if you remember at the beginning of the video I said do not throw away the sleepers that you have cut away. This is why we need to fill the gaps in. So what I do is just cut away with a knife the clip bits and just slide the sleepers in place, and there you are, looking smart once again. Right, so I better get on and get the rest of this track laid down. Thanks for joining me on this video. More to come from Back to Basics and more updates on my boys' layout in the future. Don't forget, if you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button and the little bell to be notified for upcoming videos. Also, at the end of this one, there'll be a couple of good videos to have a look at. Go back through, check some of my other stuff out, and comments are always welcome all the time. So until next time guys, take care.